preamble of the Constitution is the Constitution's introduction statement. It establishes the purpose of the Constitution and thus establishes the purpose of the United States government. It begins, "We the people of the United States," and then goes on to list the specific goals of the government, including to promote the general welfare. According to the first lines of our Constitution, the government's role is to promote the well-being of its citizens. Therefore, currently, the status quo of poverty is downright unconstitutional, as the government is not successfully promoting the general welfare. In fact, poverty rates are increasing. The negative team has the role of defending the status quo. However, we are going to sit here and let poverty flourish? Although both sides may agree that poverty is a problem, the negative team must understand that the United States' current way of solving this issue is not working. Currently, there are 39 million people in the United States who are under the poverty line and can be classified as impoverished. They are unable to provide for themselves the main substances of living. 39 million is already a heartbreaking number. However, what is even more unbelievable is the United States' inability to recover from this poverty. For the most part, citizens in poverty have not been able to or not attempted to get themselves out of poverty, as the number of impoverished has increased by 2 million since 2007. Other countries with similar governments, such as England and France, have had much better recovery from their poverty. Poverty isn't just hurting the impoverished, but it's hurting everyone and taking a horrible toll on the overall economy. This is why a new plan is desperately in order. Becky and I have devised a plan in hopes of decreasing the poverty rate. We plan to, as the resolution states, substantially increase social services to all United States citizens in poverty. As Becky explained, we will substantially increase awareness of the social services and availability of the already existing social services. Our plan begins with the welfare and Head Start programs. Becky explained them earlier, but to specify, in combination, both services would provide money that contributes to food, housing, and basic necessities, as well as education. This will be the government's focus, and unlike the current status quo, all Americans under the poverty line will be eligible for these programs. One of the issues of U.S. poverty today is that a lot of people do not use the programs that are available to them. For example, in the food stamp program, which is covered under welfare, a key component to our plan, only 65% of the people who could use the program actually used it. This is why the next part of our plan is to increase awareness. The U.S. will approach increasing awareness in the obvious ways, with pamphlets, billboards, and commercials, etc. However, the government will take it to a more personal level and actually go to centrally impoverished areas and make people truly aware of the social services the government is offering. With this awareness, 65% will hopefully approach 100. As I said, our plan focuses on welfare and Head Start. It must be known to you, the audience, and to the future recipients of these programs, that the only requirement to be eligible for the programs besides being under the poverty line is to take classes on financial responsibility and living, as well as to attempt to find not only a minimum wage job, but hopefully a career. I hate to use this proverb that is used constantly, but it is said, "If you give a man a fish, he will eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he will eat for a lifetime." This is why these classes are so necessary. People must learn to live on their own terms. We plan to increase centers around the U.S. for this type of education, as well as increase welfare centers, which will abundantly include TAMP and food stamp centers, as well as Head Start centers. These classes will of course be provided. As Becky explained, the Head Start program is already extremely successful today, so increasing its accessibility is important. With more finances being put into Head Start, increasing its availability will not be an issue, and the program will now be able to track its students until they finish schooling. This improved education will encourage fiscal responsibility. I anticipate that the negative will question the motives of the impoverished people, that if we give them the resources to live, they will attempt to leave poverty. They will not attempt to leave poverty. This is why I must stress the education being enforced in our plan, as well as the attentiveness of getting the impoverished employed. No poor man using these social services will be able to sit around all day watching ludicrous 15-year-old girls on Maury Povich, because finding a job will be their #1 priority. While the services we are providing for the impoverished will give them enough to survive, it will not provide them with enough to live comfortably, and certainly not to live with a TV. Comfort is a luxury that only finding a job will earn. and in the end, this plan will skyrocket employment rates because everyone wants a sense of comfort and security. Our plan is both practical and desirable as it improves the lives of many and teaches them how to continue with these improvements. And it's only at only a small tax cost. And since Ben has such a problem with this tax increase, he can look at the failing economy as it is today and picture a fully refurbished, booming economy with almost full employment and no poverty under our plan, and then come talk to me personally about how this tax increase is an issue. Nowhere in the preamble does it say provide for the general welfare. However, it does say promote the general welfare, and substantially increasing availability and awareness of the social services will do just that, in promoting the United States citizens living in poverty to improve their current lifestyles. Thank you.